So it's Friday, Field Trip Friday. Tess and April, the lucky ones, got to go to Willcox, which is just east of Tucson.
Yeah, a lot of history in this small town. Good morning, ladies.
And some shopping, too, as we found. How cute is this?
A shop? No. We are in this adorable shop called Emerald by Morning. Just some of the great businesses that you can find here when you stroll down Railroad Avenue. Now, I found one that's perfect for Jamie that says sometimes wine is just necessary. What do you think?
Necessary for sure, but perfect for Jamie, we're saying, because she was actually down here and got to go to one of the other vineyards in town. And you likely know his name, Sam Pillsbury, but he runs a very well-known winery down here and vineyard. So take it away, Jamie.
This is where the magic happens. We've all heard of Sam Pillsbury and its wonderful wines out of Willcox. We'll take a look. This is where the grapes are grown here, and I'm with Sam right now. Sam, tell me about these grapes and how you started growing them here in Cochise County.
Well, we just, back in 1999, I tasted a Chardonnay that was grown in a little tiny vineyard across the road, and in 25 years, I'd never tasted a Chard like that in my life. I drove down here the next day and bought 40 acres next to that vineyard and went into business with that chap and then planted over here, and here we are.
So that was a really good glass of wine.
It was the best Chardonnay I'd ever had.
And a lot of people don't know that you actually were a filmmaker for many, many years before you got into the wine business.
I was a film director. I made feature films in New Zealand for several years and then moved to Hollywood and worked there for 20 years making movies. And as I was actually brought to Arizona to shoot something, met my present wife, spent more time here and found this land, and here we all are.
And here we all are. And talk to me about what's happening here as well, because it is bottling day. Talk to me about this process.
Well, we've got, we're bottling wines that are from 2015 and 2017 today that have been in barrel or tank since then, just getting aging and getting to the right stage to bottle, and we're going to be bottling about 1,000 cases in the next 2 or 3 days.
How soon will we see those cases on store shelves, say, in the valley?
I'm going to put some of the rosé that we're bottling today in my car on Tuesday and taking them up and putting them in the tasting room, so you'll be able to get them on Wednesday if you want.
Okay, so we've seen them bottled and corked. Let's do a little uncorking now, Sam, and talk about pairing. If we're having chicken for dinner, what are we doing?
You know, almost certainly a white wine with chicken. I mean, you know what? There's no rules, folks. You can drink whatever you want with whatever you want to eat, but this will probably show off a slightly aromatic, we call it our wild child white, slightly aromatic white to go with barbecued chicken, because the barbecue's got a little bit of oomph to it, and that should be quite a good pairing. Now, meat, I would say that you really just should never have a white wine with
They always say red. Why is that?
Well, it's red meat, red wine.
Okay.
The meat has got more oomph than fish does, for example, and usually it's seasoned in some way, and this wine has got a little more oomph to it as well.
Just makes the combo work.
Yeah, it's got tannins and you know, good strong red wine. This next dish, definitely again a white wine. I've suggested my Chard with that because it's quite delicate, and this is crab and shrimp. It's a very delicate seafood. And this kind of wine will clear the fishiness out of your mouth because it's got good acid, and it'll balance with the food.
And then talk to me about this. This dish is from one of the local restaurants here in town.
La Única.
La Única, and it looks delicious. The chile relleno, yes please. Now it's time to do something called the sip and sniff.
Swirl, sniff, sip, folks. This is what you do to really enjoy wine. This is our Wild Child Red, which is quite a delicate red. And you just give it a swirl. What happens is that releases the aroma. Smell is 85% of your taste, so if it's a good wine, this will really pay off. The shape of the glass funnels the smell of the wine to your nose. Give it a sniff, and then have a little sip, and let it wash around your mouth so that you can taste it properly.
I love it. Sam, thank you for your expertise. Congratulations on all that you're doing out here. One of the first to grow wine, grow grapes right here in Cochise County, Arizona, and we just love it. And you can come out to the tasting room right here at Pillsbury Wine Company every weekend. He's there for you.
Better try some wine now.
So much fun, Jamie. And yeah, Sam's a hoot. We got to meet him last night here, actually. We got to meet a lot of folks from Willcox down here. And you know what else we found when we got into town yesterday afternoon, getting down here and getting ready for Field Trip Friday? Take a look at this. We saw a whole group of bikers coming through town, and it turns out they are part of a big run that goes all across the country. And so we've got video to show you of this big group of bikers that was coming through. It's called the Run for the Wall, and it goes from California all the way out to Washington, D.C. see, it's a 10-day ride, and it honors veterans. They stop at veterans hospitals and schools, and just a really cool event. Really need to run into that out here yesterday. And then take a look at this. As you come back to us live here in Willcox, just down from us there is a big statue for Rex Allen, but another thing that they really honor here is veterans, and so they've got a Vietnam Veterans Memorial here as well, here right down here in kind of the town square. Let's switch gears here and talk about your forecast. Maybe you're planning a road trip of your own this weekend. If you are, here's what you can expect. We've got temperatures for a road trip today across the state that'll actually be pretty mild. You're going to go to Sedona, 81 degrees, 77 in Payson, 85 in Willcox, sunny and beautiful here today. It's about 10 degrees warmer, cooler than you'll be in the valley today here in Willcox. Sunshine across the state, light winds as well. Those winds from yesterday are going to ease up a bit as that system kind of falls apart to the north of us and pushes a little bit away from Arizona. So we'll be sunny. We'll warm it up just a little over the weekend, but not too much. We've got no rain in your 7-day forecast. Going to stay pretty quiet around here the next 7 days. Today's highs across the state, 95 in Havasu. Tap out today in the valley at about 94, 70 in Flagstaff, 83 in Winslow, and 75 in Show Low, 66 today in Kingman, and as I mentioned, 85 in Willcox. Overnight lows getting down to about 57 in Sedona, 62 in Casa Grande, and 67 for the valley. The lows here much cooler. The Willcox area, which is again why it's so great for agriculture down here and things like wine and grapes. They'll be in the 50s. We'll be in the 60s and 70s on our lows this week in the valley, and our afternoon highs, as you can see, going to fluctuate just a couple of degrees, generally between the mid to upper 90s. But lots of sunshine in the forecast. Great time to maybe take a road trip and come down here and visit Willcox. It is a beautiful time of year, and Scott and Olivia, I'm going to tell you that I have not been to Willcox before. I've been to Sonoyta, and I think we took a trip in August or September. I think that's the best time to come down here because the storm watching is incredible. The storms that roll off the Chiricahua Mountains and the Dos Cabezas Mountains over there are pretty incredible. So that's my suggestion for you.
Oh, I bet that's true. Yeah, it's been so beautiful there. The flowers behind you and everything. It looks like it's absolutely perfect conditions this morning, April.
It really is. You kind of forget you're in Arizona sometimes.
Anytime we can get a drop in temperatures, we'll be there this summer.
Exactly.
April, thank you.